Welcome to the dynamic learning hub of XLR at Andheri East. A prime spot conveniently located at just a 5-minute walk from LIC Andheri Metro. In our journey of over a decade, we have proudly trained over 2 lakh students. We have also been recognized by Deloitte, Silicon India, and other accreditation bodies. Experience learning like never before in our spacious and comfortable classrooms. With high-definition projectors and state-of-the-art acoustics in place, we ensure effective learning even to the farthest point in the room. The hybrid mode is a game changer as you can enjoy the benefits of a light classroom from the comfort of your home. Even if you happen to miss any classroom session, you can still attend the same session with the same trainer at the same time at your convenience, maintaining consistency in your learning progress. Wanna get started? Join us for a demo or career chat over a cup of coffee at our Andheri branch. XLR. We don't just train, we build careers.
Yes, so the collaboration with XLR was an excellent one. We conducted a Power BI workshop with Advanced Excel over a span of 3 days. The workshop was almost 12 hours long in total. Mr. Karthik, who was an amazing trainer, helped the students understand the concepts deeply. I am sure that the students will be able to apply these concepts in their careers as well as their daily lives.
The trainer, Mr. Karthik, was an excellent person where he explained in very detailed manner on how to give great insights using very complex data sets.
So it was a machine learning workshop. We learned a lot from the course and it was a great experience attending the workshop.
The trainer was very helpful. He had a hands-on approach with his teaching and it was fabulous.
This was a great experience for me. So I would absolutely love it if XLR and its team would come again to our campus and conduct more events like this.
It was a great course and it started from basics and took me to a great extent.
The experience of the workshop was really nice. The feedback from all the students was positive. They understood the concept. The workshop was also practical based with some questions. The experience with XLR was very smooth. They helped us in conducting the workshop smoothly right from the booking of the vendor and deciding the course till the distribution of certificates. In overall, this workshop was a success during our Technical Fest Atmos, and I thank XLR for being a part of it.
was very much interested in learning digital marketing course for a very long period of time, but I don't get a proper platform. So later from our college, I get to know about XLR and I enrolled in XLR course. It was really good experience. Our course has been taken by Mayur sir, and he was very good teacher. He not only focusing on theory part, he is doing how real digital marketing works, and it was in total very good experience. I get so much of knowledge. Here they're not only focusing on study, they're also conducting different exam to test our knowledge. And as we are giving the exam, so to appreciate our work, they give certificates for the toppers, and along with the certificate they give hampers. Thank you, XLR.
Recently, I was searching for digital marketing courses online in Google, and I came across XLR, and I attended a digital marketing course which was for 15 days. My mentor Mayur helped me for attending these classes. So he is a very informative and helpful guy. In the course end, there is a exam which I topped, so I came to the XLR office in Bengaluru. This digital marketing course has helped my career and my skills to develop, and the certificate has helped my company to join. Thank you, XLR.
I came to know about this course from my college. Actually, for learning platform, this is very nice, and I learned from here ChatGPT and AI from online. Vikas is teaching for me for AI generative and ChatGPT. We are using this technology in more. And after finishing the courses, I came for collecting the certificate. I seen the classrooms and faculties. Classroom is very nice. After the completion of exam, they will give gift and certificates. Thank you, XLR, for giving these courses. I learned a lot from this. I gained the more knowledge from here, and thank you for XLR for teaching us.
Hello guys, I'm Vikram.
Good afternoon, dear faculty members. I hope you all doing well. Okay, we'll start the session for the day. Prashant sir, good afternoon. Prashant sir, can you please start the session?
Hey, Sushmita, could you able to hear me?
Yes, sir, you're audible.
Perfect. Good to start?
Yeah, sure, sir, you can start.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, hi, everyone. Good afternoon. Hope all of you all are doing great. So welcome back once again, everyone, to our sixth session today, where we are going to discuss about some more in-depth concepts. This entire week, we are going to dedicated for our entire concepts with regards to LangChain, LangGraph, right? So these are all are the different things we are going to discuss. In the last session, we got a very high level overview of what are the AI agents and how it is going to play an important role. So we were able to understand that. And then we also proceeded further in developing some AI agents, okay, like reactive agent, role based agent, and then we also completed even the learning based agent, right? And then later on Friday, if you all can recollect, we also have done the no code AI agents, right? Without using any coding, we used our Google Dialog Flow. Using the Google Dialog Flow, we were being able to go ahead and create our own AI agents by not even touching a single code, right? We created intent and then we integrated it with the Telegram, right? We were able to see in the Telegram how the messages were coming in, okay? By any chance, if any one of you have missed the existing session or you're not aware about it, I would request you to go to the LMS and then see the recorded session where we discussed everything in a detailed way that how it is going to play as an important. Okay, so just want to give you all the clarity with regards to it. And yeah, today we are going to learn some core concepts with regards to, let's say, we will be able to go ahead and then cover some interesting topics, right? So now we are going little bit technical because right now we are in the second week, correct? So we will go one step further and we'll understand what is LangChain, LangGraph, LangSmith, Crew AI. These are the real-time based agents actually. Now, as you got the first week, the entire awareness about the agents, now the second week will be, we will go in depth and we will see what are the real-time AI agents which are available in the market and we will try to develop them on our own. That's going to be our second core, I mean, the second week we are going to target. And then we also have some prompt engineering skill set also, which you all have asked me that you want to learn. And I mean, prompt engineering is definitely a very mandatory skill set for all of us to go ahead and handle it. Okay, so whatever skill set which is being present, right? All the prompt engineering skill set is also definitely needed because without that, you don't know how to interact with the AI models. So definitely, I will arrange one particular session entirely for prompt engineering. Okay, somewhere within this week only, we will also have prompt engineering session also where we will go through and see what are the different prompts available, how we can be able to handle them. Okay, so this is what I just want to set it up. For our today's agenda, we will go ahead and start with our LangChain, understand what it is all about theoretically. Then we will do the follow-up hands-on activity and we'll see that how it is going to play as an important. Okay, so let me share my screen quickly to all of you and from there we all can be able to proceed further. Give me a minute. I'll share my screen quickly to all of you. Okay, so as I mentioned today, everyone, we are going to get started with a concept called as the LangChain agent. That's the first thing which we are going to discuss about. Okay, so if you observe over here, like this is what we here call it as the LangChain agent. Right, so you see here very clearly, like when we talk about the LangChain agent, right? So first of all, you need to know what exactly is a LangChain, how it is important, where it is going to play an important role. So I'm going to give you the overall picture, but remember one thing, whatever we are going to learn today, it is all the real AI agents. I mean, whatever we learned even in the previous 1 week, right? Those are also AI agents only, but those are mainly emphasizing on types of AI agents. But right now, whatever we are going to learn within this week, right? These are the real agents which we are going to interact and then try to create our own AI agents, and agent itself is going to do the job for all of us. So one among them right now, what I'm going to discuss will be the LangChain agent, which is going to play a very, very important role. So when I talk about the LangChain agent, right? So this LangChain agent is going to act like a smart assistant, right? This LangChain agent, whatever is present, this is going to act like a smart assistant for all of us, okay, which is powered by AI called as like, let's say like ChatGPT, okay, which is powered by AI like ChatGPT model, but it has really some cool superpowers. Okay, it really has cool superpowers. So when I say LangChain agent, it's nothing but it's like a smart assistant where it is being powered by your AI like ChatGPT, and it really has superpowers. Let's say normally ChatGPT just gives you answers based on whatever it has been trained with, right? But sometimes that's not enough, right? What if you want to search the internet, or you want to do maths with a calculator, or you want to look into the database, or you want to call another API or a tool? Now, all those things are not going to be possible. Okay, so right now, if you could be able to see here, right, when we talk about the LangChain agent appropriately, see, problem is you may think the ChatGPT agent all are same. No, they are actually not the same. Okay, let's say ChatGPT is a large language model called as LLM, which will be helpful for us. Like when let's say it will be ChatGPT at the end of the day, it's ultimately going to give you the answers based on whatever the data with which it has been trained, right? Whatever the data with which it has. So whatever the data with which it has been trained, it will be able to go ahead and will derive you the answers. That's how ChatGPT will be able to go ahead and will give us the answers based on whatever it has been trained. But sometimes that's not enough, right? As I said you, let's say if you want to search the entire internet, okay, if you want to go ahead and search the entire internet, or if you want to go ahead and do maths, okay, with a calculator, okay, or you want to look into the database, okay, or if you wish to go ahead and look into a database, let's say, or you want to call any another API or a tool. So if you want to go ahead and use all of them, right? So basically what happens, your ChatGPT is not going to play very important role in all of them, because ChatGPT is like that, where it has been trained with a lots of content. Now you go ask like, hey boss, I need this, give me. ChatGPT will say, okay, I have already been trained with it, so let me go and give you the answer. That's it. Till that point of time only your ChatGPT will be applicable, like where it will be able to understand what it wants, and then accordingly it will be able to go ahead and will derive you the answer. That's it. Nothing else it is going to be able to do apart from it. Okay. So that's the idea which every one of us here should be aware of. Okay, so we need to See, ChatGPT is only works that. But let's say when I want to go and search the internet, or I want to do math with a calculator, or I want to look into the database, or I really want to call any other external services in the form of API, how could I be able to do that? That's where your LangChain agents will play a very, very important. Okay. So that's where you will see that your LangChain agents are going to come into the picture. Okay, so ultimately, whatever the LangChain agents are there, so those LangChain agents are going to play a very, very important role, okay, where they can play an important role to do all the additional activities which other AI models like ChatGPT, Gemini, or Copilot are not able to do, right? So here is where we will be able to go ahead and do it. So that's where your LangChain agents come into the picture. They can use the tools just like a human assistant, how they will be able to go ahead and utilize it, right? In the same way, we can use LangChain agents and can be able to use these tools to make sure that it works like a super assistant and can be able to help us out in all the different ways in which it can be able to assist or guide us appropriately, everyone. Okay, let me make it very simple. So right now I understand that you all have heard it technically. Let me make it very simple. Let's say imagine you are asking a real life assistant. Okay, imagine there is a real life assistant with you. Okay. So let me go ahead and say, okay, imagine, right? You are asking a real life assistant. So can you find me, what can I say? Okay, I'll say a question like, can you find me weather? Okay. Let's say, can you find me a weather in Paris? Okay. And I will say, and also book a cab to the airport. Okay. This is my, I'll say to my real life assistant. Okay. Imagine I have a real life assistant. I will ask to my real life assistant that, hey, can you find me the weather in Paris and also book a cab to airport? Now imagine in ChatGPT, when you run this, right, you know it will give you the response, but it will not do the activity. That's the biggest difference everywhere. ChatGPT will come with a scripted answer saying that, okay, the weather in Paris, maybe at this time of, at this point of time, it could be in the range of so and so. And in order to book a cab in the airport, you need to either book you either need to use Uber or Ola. It will just simply say that, but it will never do that activity. Whereas agent will be able to do that. It will do that activity for you rather than saying that follow this and then do it on your own. No, it is itself will be able to understand and it will be able to guide us. Okay, I'll say you. If I asked my real life assistant, who is my personal assistant, let's say, I'll say, can you find me weather in Paris and also book a cab to airport? So now what is my personal assistant might be able to do? First, my personal assistant will try to open a weather app. Okay, we'll try to open a weather app just to know what is the weather in Paris. Then he or she will be able to go ahead and check the cab booking site. Okay. And then finally, they will respond to me. Okay. Or if you have your personal assistant, they will respond. So if you say to your like real life assistant, can you find me weather in Paris and also book a cab to airport? So your personal assistant will immediately go open a weather app. They will check the cab booking site and finally will be able to respond to it. Right? That's what the personal assistant could do. Now, a LangChain agent also does the same thing. If you have your LangChain agent with you, your LangChain agent is also going to do the same thing, everybody. Okay, what my LangChain agent will do, this is the personal assistant or a real life assistant. Now, let's say if I replace and gonna put my LangChain agent over here, I will say you what my LangChain agent is going to do in this scenario. So my LangChain agent also does the same thing. So first, it is going to understand, right? It is basically going to understand the question. After it understands the question, right, then it will choose the right tool. Okay, it will go ahead and will choose the right tool. Like it will go and check the weather API because weather is an external like external like organization where you have the meteorological department, it will go to that particular service through API. It will check the weather, or it will go through a booking service, like where the cabs can be booked. Okay. And it is going to use one by one. Like first it will go through weather, and then it will go to the cab service, and finally it provides the final answer. Okay. It goes ahead and then provides you the final answer here. So if you observe here very clearly, what is happening in this scenario? If you look into the LangChain agent appropriately, right? So first it's trying to understand your question, right? Your agent is understanding the question same as like the human being. Then it is trying to choose the right tool, like how a weather API should be connected or a booking service in order to book the cab. And then later it is going to use one by one. First, it will try to fetch the weather condition. Then it will try to book the cab to the airport. And then finally provides the answer to you. Like it will say you, hey, hey Prashant, the weather is currently so and so degrees in Paris. And here is the cab which I have booked for you. That's how your LangChain agent is going to work. It's going to work more or less like a real time, how a human assistant would be present with us all the time, right? In the same way, LangChain agent is going to be present. It's a virtual agent. Only thing, you are not going to have the human beings. You don't need to pay them any salaries. Here, LangChain agent is something which is going to come with you, and then it will be available 24/7. Okay, where you can find out whatever you want. The agent, the LangChain agent, will be able to go ahead and can be able to help us out in all the different possible scenarios. Okay, so finally, how is it working? If you want to know how the LangChain agents are working, first you give a task, right? How it is basically working. So as I said, like first you are going to give a task. Okay, so let's say I will ask, what is the current price of the Bitcoin? Okay, so then later your agent is going to think whatever the task you have been able to give, right? It will just not go simply without any thinking. It will not be able to do. First, whatever task you give, it will understand. It will try to think in its own perspective. Then after that, it will understand to choose the right tool based on whatever thinking it was able to do, right? It will be able to choose the right tool and will try to use it. Okay, and then it will read the result. Okay, it will read the result from there. Okay, and will finally reply to us. That's it. These are the four things which your agent will always do. Either it is a LangChain agent, or in future whatever types of AI agents we are going to learn, every one of them are going to follow the same strategy and the same activity. Okay, you are not going to see any major differences over here. So you give a task, your agent will understand the task, or it will try to think in its own way what exactly the task is all about. Then it will try to choose the right tool, like what would be the right tool to go ahead and implement or utilize in order to fetch the information. And then finally it will read the result and reply to it. Okay, finally, then it is going to read all the result for you, and it is going to reply like based on whatever you have been able to ask. Like for an example, I have asked like what's the current price of the Bitcoin. So the agent will think and it will say, I need to use a cryptocurrency API, okay, which is an external agent to go ahead and look into. You remember in the last class, I have already discussed about the API. Right, API is always needed for the external agents, like where if you want to connect to any of the external agents, right, you cannot connect directly. You definitely need the assistance of the API. API only will allow you to connect externally to any of the other software applications or to any other services. If you want to connect, right, it is going to play a very important role. Okay, and then you need to choose the right tool. Okay, so we should be able to understand like how we need to choose the right tool and then implement or utilize it appropriately. Okay, and then it will provide me the reply that saying that the current price of Bitcoin is so and so. See, now ChatGPT also does this, but ChatGPT is not pro in it. Let's say you ask any question to your ChatGPT, it also responds to you, but it will never do an activity on behalf of you. Like I am busy, let's say I want to book a cab or I want to book a flight. So if you say to your chat GPT will give you the instructions saying that you need to do this or you need to do that. Whereas your AI agent will complete that activity and will let you know that, boss, this is done. Here is your tickets. Now it is up to you, like, to travel on. Okay, but I have done my activity, whatever you have been able to ask me. So that's how your AI agents are going to play an important role. And one among them, as I'm mentioning it very clearly here, is the LangChain agent, where you give a task, the agent will be in a position to think through it, and then it will choose the right tool and will be able to utilize it. And then it is going to read the result and finally will be able to reply to it. So that's the overall picture or the idea which we all here should be able to consider. Okay, so hope that this is very clear to all of you. So this is the understanding which every one of us here should be aware of. Okay, now what are the main parts? What are the main parts of the LangChain agent? Okay, till now we understood the process. Like, let's understand what are the main parts or the main components of a LangChain agent. Okay, let's try to understand that, like, what are the main components which are being present over here and how it is going to play an important role. Let's try to get to know about it. See, the main components or the main parts of a LangChain agent is, like, one is your LLM, okay, which is your large language model. This is going to act like a brain, okay, which is, imagine like a chat GPT, okay, where it has all the data with which it has been trained. So your LLM is nothing but it is your large, we call it as the large language model. So all your chat GPT, Gemini, Copilot, and then even your Claude, all of these are your LLMs basically. Those are here called as the large language models, right? So those are basically here referred to as large language models, okay, which is your LLM, where you are going to have a brain like structure, okay, and then so as again, chat GPT is more or less like a brain to your LangChain, okay, where it is a large language model where it will be having a brain, and this is where all the activity is going to happen. Okay, and then you also have here the tools, right? We have here tools. So tools means like it can be anything, like, see, it can use API and can connect to multiple tools, any external tools if it wants to connect, right? So you have tools where it can use API. Using the API, it can connect to multiple tools which are being present. Okay, and then you have here the agent. On the other side, you have your agent. Agent is the one who is going to decide what to use and when. Okay, all the decisioning skills, okay, all the decisioning skills which are there will be capable by the agent only the agent here has the capability to decide, okay, like what to do at what point of time, or what to use and when to use. All of these capabilities are being taken care by the agent only. Agent itself is being able to go ahead and can handle all the decisioning skills whatever is needed. Okay, and definitely you need a prompt, which we will be learning gradually when we move forward. So prompt is something like, this is the instructions, right? Prompt is nothing but it is an instruction which we are going to give to agent. Okay, so this is an instruction which we are going to give it to our agent. So when you talk about the main components of a LangChain here, right? So you, in this scenario, if you see very clearly, you have your LLM, which is your large language model, where it is going to act like a brain, like ChatGPT is the best example. And then you are going to have your tools where it is going to have your APIs. These external APIs are going to play a very important role in order to, like, find out any of the details where you're dependent upon. Let's say I was asking in the previous example, can you give me the weather of the Paris? So what happens? So it has to go to the weather station, get the details and give you the information. So now there you need to use API. Based on scenario, API will connect the medium. You can connect to the particular application and can see the responses which are being coming from there. Okay, and then as an agent, you are the, I mean, as an agent, you are the one who is going to decide what to use at what point of time and when to implement it. All the decisioning skills are taken care by the agent itself. And then you have your prompt. Your prompt is nothing but here the instructions you are going to give to your agent. okay, where it is going to guide your agent and understand that how we can be able to handle the things. These are all are the main components of a LangChain agent, which we should be here aware about. Okay, so let's give an example like how the main components is going to work. Okay, let me say for an example, you asked your AI agent. Okay, just simply ask your AI agent like what is what can I say? Okay, what is 5 multiplied by 2 plus 3? Okay, let's ask this question. So first what will happen is the LLM, first level is LLM. The LLM may not calculate it exactly. Okay, so LLM may not calculate well every time. Every time it is not possible. Sometimes it can make the mistakes. Okay, now what will agent to do? So agent, okay, agent knows that LLM can make mistakes at times. So agent will decide, okay, so to do this operation, I will go ahead and use the calculator tool. So agent is going to decide at that point of time, okay, in order to do this operation, I need to choose the calculator tool. So now it will send to calculator whatever question we have, 5 multiplied by 2 plus 3. Okay, so the calculator will get the answer saying that it is 25 and it is going to give us a result to you. That is how your AI agent is going to work. Your AI agent is not going to do any hard work. It's a smart. Your AI agent is always going to do a smart work rather than making its brain fully complex by not understanding what is happening, or it is not going to break its head saying that why am I not able to do. Your AI agents are always going to look for the smart approach. So your AI agent knows if I use it in my brain, that is my LLM, which is my large language model, it would take some time and even I may be wrong. So instead, your AI agent thinks that anyhow we have so many external tools, right? Why can't I go and connect to a calculator using an API? So calculator is pro. Calculator is meant, it is expert in calculation. Why don't I go and take the services of the calculator? Let me connect through a calculator tool by using an API. Let me fetch the details from the calculator, whatever it is been able to give, that is 25, and will give you the result. That is how the agents are going to work, especially the LangChain agent, what we are discussing right now. The capability of the LangChain agent is that it is always having the capability to know to which tool it has to connect so that it can get the best response out of it and can be able to give you as a better result. Not every time AI agent is dependent on external tools. Sometimes it is dependent on external tool. Sometimes it has its own capability, like from its own brain, like using LLM only it will be able to answer. Sometimes if it is not confident, the agent will take an external route by asking the expert who is pro in it. They will be able to go ahead, generate the response, and then it will be able to give you as a result at the end of the day. Okay, so that's how your LangChain agent, okay, that's how your LangChain agents are making the world of AI. The entire world of AI is today very much powerful, and as well as it is also dynamic in nature, right? So it is going to make your entire AI here more powerful and as well as dynamic. So today it is making your world of AI is powerful and dynamic. It is because of the LangChain agents. Today with the help of AI, you are able to go ahead and can automate multiple tasks. Okay, that too by using external tools, which is really great. As I said you, right, when I was explaining the API concept, I made it very clear to all of you. See, the benefit of using external tools is you cannot become a master of everything. See, our brain has a limited capability. Like, let's say we as a human being, you may be expert in hardly, like, let's say 3 or 4 domains. Okay, sometimes even one domain, 2 domains, up to your capability. How much time you can be able to go ahead and can dedicate time to become to show your expertise in a particular subjects. You will be able to go ahead and do that. But every human being will have some limit. We will be exhausted, right? So okay, 3 to 4 is my domain expertise. After that, I cannot be able to take it up because lack of time, and on top of that we may not have enough things to accommodate all those expertise in 4 or 5 different subjects, right? We have our own limitations as a human being at the end of the day. Okay, whereas your machines or your AI agents, they're so smart. So let's say Google is pro in Google Maps, right? Meteorological department is pro in the weather. Calculator is pro in calculation. Okay. And then if you want to fetch any other information, let's say you want to pick up the state capitals, okay, the government sources. So you see that there are already experts across the world. Why can't I be able to go and utilize them? Because they are experts, right? Why can't I be able to go ahead and pick the data from there and give it to the persons who are asking me as an AI agent? That is the capability. So it is automating the tasks by connecting to external tools and giving you the information rather than pressurizing itself as an agent and thinking that, okay, what should I do? What should I do? No, nothing as such. Imagine you as a human being. If you are not knowing, you are coming, you are getting to learn from the expert, and then you are using your own skill set, and then you are developing the thing. Same here also. AI agent is also an expert only. Okay, it can also be able to do the things, but still it will be able to look for any external tools where if it is convenient, it will pick that information, it will validate, the AI agent also will validate based on whatever information it has, and finally it will be able to give us the response. Okay, so your LangChain agent is going to be helpful for all your chatbots, whatever chatbots you want to develop, or whatever AI assistants we are going to create. Okay, like any bots you want to create. So for all of them, your LangChain is going to be helpful. So ultimately, these are the uses of the LangChain agents, where you can see that AI today is very powerful and dynamic. It is all because of the LangChain agents. It can automate the tasks by using some external tools via API. And it is also helpful for creating all your chatbots, your assistants, your research bots, all these type of things we can actually be able to do it here. Okay, so this is a great capability today, which the LangChains are actually going to help us out in all the different ways. Okay, so right now, I'll just reiterate it one more time, whatever we discussed, after which if there are any questions, I'll be able to take up. I mean, this is the concept which every one of you should here be aware when we refer to the LangChain concept. Okay, so we started here with the LangChain agent for the today's session. So as I said, the LangChain agent is going to act like a smart assistant, okay, which is powered by AI like ChatGPT. But here the agent will have superpowers more than the large language models. Okay. So as I said, when you talk about ChatGPT, normally ChatGPT will only be able to give you the answers, but your AI agents will be able to give you the answers. Plus, additionally, it will also do the actions based on whatever you were been able to instruct. Okay. So that's the clarity we need to be here aware about. And then later I explained to you. So the LangChain agent, if you really want to know, imagine there is a real life assistant. Like you ask your real life assistant any question like, can you find me the weather in Paris and also book a cab to the airport? So how your assistant would work, right? Like first your assistant would check for the weather app, check the cab booking site, and then finally they will be able to respond to you, right? In the same way, your LangChain agent is also going to do nothing different. Okay, your LangChain agent also will first try to understand the question. Then it will try to choose the right tool, like a weather API or a booking service. It will connect to all the external services wherever it is convenient, and then it will use them one by one. And finally, is going to give you the final answer. Like it's ultimately going to go ahead and provide you the final answer associated with it. Okay. And then later you are going to see in this scenario here how it is going to work. As I said, right, first you give a task to your AI agent, then the agent is going to think, and then it will choose the right tool and will implement or utilize it. And finally, it will be able to read the result and reply to you. Okay. So that's how your LangChain is going to work. And what are the main components within a LangChain? You have your brain, that is your large language model, which works like ChatGPT. You have a tools where you can connect to external tools via API. You have an agent, the one who is going to decide and discuss like what to use and when to use the things. And then you have a prompt, which is going to help us out in the form of instructions, where it is going to guide the agent, like how it has to work or how it has to respond appropriately. Okay. And then, as I said you, right, I just gave you an example. Let's say you give any question. First, your LLM will try to understand what you have asked. Then the agent will decide whether it will respond or whether it has to use the external tool like calculator. It will connect through an API, and then it will get the result out of it and will be able to send it over to you. Okay, that's it. So that's the clarity which we all here should be aware about. Okay, and then what are the uses? Today, your LangChain agent has made the AI more powerful and dynamic in nature. And then at the same time, it can automate all the tasks by using external tools where they're experts using the APIs. And it is also helpful. You can use your LangChain for creating all your chatbots, assistants, bots, all these type of things we can be able to create with the help of the LangChain. So this is what I want to cover as part of our LangChain theoretically. So before I move you to the hands-on activity or a practical part, I would request you, are there any questions from anybody with regards to LangChain? Whatever I've explained to you, right? So as part of the LangChain, are there any questions from anyone before I move you all to the hands-on activity? So just have a look into it. Let me know if any concept has to be repeated or are there any questions from anybody. I will be able to go ahead and help you out with it. Okay, if not, we can be able to proceed further with the hands-on activity. So I'm just reducing the size. Maybe have a look into it and let me know if there are any questions over the chat. I'm giving you 2 minutes of time. Go through it. Whatever I've explained to you, just try to revise it. Let me know if anything has to be repeated or if there are any questions from any one of you. I will be able to go ahead and answer it appropriately to all of you. Please go ahead, everyone. Mansi, most of the times it's always going to give the right prediction only. Like let's say 95% of the times it will always give you right prediction. But again, 100% accuracy is never possible in AI. So there is a possibility or deviation of around 5% here and there. It may go ahead and create some deviations, but otherwise, most of the times it's going to predict it in a right manner only. Okay. LangChain is an agent. It's not a software. It is an agent. Where we are going to use it, that you will be able to learn when I'm going to explain to you practically, right? Okay. So is LangChain a software? No, it is an agent. LangChain is an AI agent. Like how ChatGPT is a large language model, LangChain is an AI agent, Aditya. So where we are going to use this, that you will be getting to know when I'm going to explain right now practically, so that you will be getting an clarity or an awareness about it. Yeah, some that's what Anwar. Some actions ChatGPT will also do. That's the reason I said you right. First level here, if you see whatever I explained to you, the main components, right? First level is LLM only. If ChatGPT can be able to go ahead and do that activity, that will be done in ChatGPT itself. You're getting my point, right? ChatGPT also will do actions. That's not a problem. Okay, ChatGPT, whatever is available, that will also do actions. But there are some actions which ChatGPT cannot be able to do. Like as I gave an example, right? Let's say I want to book a cab. or I want to book a flight. No, those things are not possible using the chat GPT. That's where your AI agent will come and will do that activity for us. Whatever is feasible by chat GPT will be done at the chat GPT level only. Whatever it cannot be able to do, or if it is not confident, will be pushed to AI agent, and then your AI agent will be able to help us out in order to handle the things appropriately. Okay, that is where the core capability is going to be present. It's just a wrapper, that's it. Now you'll get to know, right, Nilesh? Just wait for some time. I'm going to show the hands-on activity. That's where you will get a clarity how it is going to work. The people who are asking, right, just give me 2 minutes. As I said you, right, I just explained right now the theoretical part so that you get an awareness about it. When I'm going to do hands-on activity where we will write a code to develop our own LangChain agent, that's when you will get all the clarity that how it can actually be implemented. Okay. See, I would say both the ways it is correct, Neha. Okay, see, most of the times, if you really want to play an important role in the world of AI agent, or you want to like become, let's say, the one who is going to create an AI agent, right? So it's more like if you develop your own AI agent, right? That will be totally different. Okay, you can develop AI agent in both the ways. One I explained on Friday, right, using no code AI agent. But in the no code AI agent, right, you'll have very limitations. I mean, let's say you want to customize something, you cannot do that. But whereas when you do with the coding, that is with simple Python program, you can customize the things, you can create the things whatever you want, and you can develop your own AI agent exactly in a way however you wanted it. Whereas, let's say in a no code AI agent, when you're going to use the services, right, they are definitely going to help you. But the point is, they will only help you whatever they have with. So you only use only those options. If I want to create something customized, that is not possible. Okay, but in either of the ways, we can be able to do. So I will also explain to you no code AI agents when we move forward. Already we completed one, that is Google Dialogflow. And then we will also discuss about some more no code AI agents going forward. But if you ask me my suggestion, my first priority will be develop your own AI agent with the code, because that's when you will learn everything in very detail. Then you become comfortable with that, and then you implement utilizing the no code AI agents. But always I would give preference to write a code and create an AI agent, because you will have a lot of advantages over there. That's it. That's the clarity I want to emphasize here. Okay. But by the way, great questions, everyone. The people who all were been able to ask. Really good. Last 1 minute for everyone to think through and ask me if there is anything specific. If not, we can all be able to proceed to the hands-on activity, like where we can create our own LangChain agent. Okay, perfect. So let's now move on to the hands-on activity, like where we will be able to go ahead and do it. In real time, do we able to easily integrate your to consider? We can do it. Okay, yes, definitely we can be able to do it. But only thing is how much compatible it is, Reshma, we need to look into it. That's it. Okay, IoT is something which can be easily be compatible with any other technologies, because at the end of the day, it's all about sensors, all those RFID sensors which are there, right? So it is easily compatible with other technologies. Okay, so it can be possible. Okay, augmented reality, virtual reality itself is altogether a different world. Only thing we need to see how well we can be able to make it compatible with the world of generative AI. Okay, so that's the overall idea or the clarity which every one of us here should be available. Okay, so it can be done. The answer in one line, if I would say yes, it is possible. Okay, only thing is we need to look into the compatibility, how well it can be compatible. That's it. Okay, so as you all know, everyone, you need to first ensure that you are opening the Google Colab. And I know Google Colab is not a new thing to all of you. We have been doing everything in the Google Colab only, right? So we were been able to go ahead and do everything in the Google Colab as part of our previous discussions. So I would request every one of you to please open the Google Colab, everyone. Just you need to go to the Google Colab and then create a new notebook, or else you can also create it in the existing notebook, whatever we have been able to create it in the last 1 week, right? You can be able to do there, or otherwise you can create a new notebook altogether. And within that new notebook, we can be able to go ahead and can create whatever the code or whatever LangChain which we have discussed right now, we can be able to implement. So I would request every one of you to please ensure that you open your Google Colab. Once your Google Colab is open, you can just say new notebook. Okay, so it will open a new notebook with a new code or a new cell like this. There will be a small cell. So I will explain to you the code right now. Once the code explanation is completed and you all are clear with it, okay, I will then share the code to all of you, where you can also be able to implement it from your end. Check how the LangChain is going to work. I'll give you enough time, so don't be in a hurry to start writing the code when I'm explaining it. Okay, because in that way what will happen is you will lose the track of what I'm explaining to all of you. So first understand, try to take a lot of time to learn what this code is actually trying to do, how LangChain is playing an important role while we are creating this AI agent. First try to get to know all the synopsis of it, then later I'll give you enough time where you can practice, you can also get the output, and then we will proceed further to the next concept. Okay, so right now, if you observe here, right, the very first step, what am I trying to do here? So if you see, this is where I'm trying to install the LangChain. So LangChain is not readily available in the Python. As I said you, right, somebody has asked me, is LangChain a software? I said, no, LangChain is an agent, which you need to install whenever you are going to write any program, right? Anything you are going to develop on top of the like AI agentic world, you have to specify which AI agentic world, uh, which AI agentic world you are going to create. So one among them is the LangChain. Is LangChain only available in the market? Answer is no. There are so many other services also available, which we will gradually learn in this entire week. Okay, so what it does, if you see the command, right, which I'm highlighting it, that is where you'll see it is going to install the entire LangChain library, where it is going to help you to build your AI agents and then tools. And then you see there is a quiet. The quiet part just hides any extra logs. If there are any extra logs which is going to come, right? So the quiet part is going to just hide all those extra logs which are there. Okay, so here LangChain is acting as a toolbox, which is helping us to connect the AI models, all the logic in an easy manner. So definitely we need LangChain. If we are not, if we are doing in LangChain, and if we are not installing the LangChain itself, then what is that we are going to serve as a purpose over here? So the very first thing here, or the very first capability, what every one of us here should be aware about is, we have to ensure that the LangChain library is getting installed appropriately, where it is going to help us out to build the AI agents and then tools in a proper manner. And why did I put quiet over there? The purpose of the quiet is to hide any extra logs or any additional or extra information which comes The quiet will ensure that it's going to hide them because we don't need all of them. The only purpose of it is to run or install the LangChain, but we don't need anything else apart from. That's it. So that is the clarity which we all here should be aware about. So LangChain here will be like a toolbox, okay, where it will be like playing a very important role, where you can create your own AI models, okay, and you can also be able to create your own logics in an easier way. Okay. So that's the core capability of the very first step, which you could be able to see, which I'm highlighting it. Then what next? So the next thing is, once your LangChain is installed successfully, let's say, once your LangChain is installed successfully, right? Then the next step, what we all need to do here is, it is going to bring in the tool class from the LangChain. Okay, so let's say I install LangChain. Now within LangChain as an agent, there are so many tools which are going to be available. Imagine you install software in your system. Right? Now, once you install the software, you are going to use them. Whatever components are available in the software, we will be able to use them, right? Same way here also. Once you install the LangChain, so from the LangChain, I need tools. So I want the tools which are available in the LangChain. And then, I mean, what we are trying to say here is, we will be using the tool class from the LangChain. Okay, see here, it's very clearly mentioned. So we need here the tool class which is available in the LangChain. That's it. Okay, so that's what we are trying to highlight it over there. Now, what is that I am trying to do? So I want to create a custom calculator. First, I want to create a custom calculator. That means my own calculator. So for that, what I'm trying to do, first I'm creating my own function, right? I'm trying to create my own function here, and my function name here as my calculator. Okay, and then it will take one input that is called as a query. Okay, it is going to take one input that's called query, which is just like a math expression. Okay, which is just like a math expression, like a string, like where you can say 15 plus 5 multiplied by 2, something like that. Okay, so you are defining the function name called as a my calculator, and you are taking one input as a parameter, that is query over here. Okay, so where it will do a math expression which will be in the form of a string. That is what we call str over here. Okay, now inside the function, we have something called as eval query. Okay, this is going to run the mathematical calculation automatically, like typing it into the calculator, and then if it works, it will give you the result. Okay, it will return a sentence like the result is so and so, or if there is an error like a wrong input, then it will return a friendly message saying that sorry, I could not calculate that. So eval, you see that here, right? Eval means evaluation. So eval is a very powerful here. Okay, it is very, very powerful, where it will help us out in order to calculate whatever the query. So let's say whatever the query you passed here in the function my calculator, right here, whatever the query you are going to pass, that will be evaluated here. Okay, let's say you said, for an example, as I said you, right, 15 plus 5 multiplied by 2, something like that. Okay, so then it will give you the result, right? If it works, then definitely it will be able to go ahead and return a sentence to you. Like it will say the result is so and so, right? It will be able to simply go ahead and will let you know that, hey, your result is so and so. It will just let you know. That's it. Okay, and then if there is an error, if the things are not going to work appropriately, then it will return a friendly message, right, saying that yes, sorry, I could not be able to calculate that. Okay, so that is how you can create a simple custom calculator. In this entire part, this is very important. This eval function, that's it, evaluation. That is it. Rest is all simple, right? You're defining function name, passing parameter, evaluation is happening based on whatever query you are asking. If the result is right, it will print the result. If the result is not right, it will say, sorry, I could not calculate that. That's it. That's how you can define your custom calculator function. Now, what are we trying to do here? We are wrapping it in the LangChain tool. Somebody has said, right, the purpose of the LangChain is what? To wrap it up. See, here is where we are getting to know that we are wrapping it everything in the LangChain tool. So basically what is happening over here, if you see very clearly in this scenario, so here we are wrapping up the my calculator function. Whatever my calculator function which we created as a LangChain tool, so now we are wrapping it up. So we are giving a name here. The name of the LangChain agent will right now be a simple calculator. Just for the display purpose, we are doing that. And then here we are defining the function. What is the function name here? My calculator, right? So if you see in the step 3, this is my function name. So I am defining that function name over here, right? So this is the function to run. And then if you wish, you can give a small description like, hey, this is being meant to calculate so and so expression, like 10 plus 20 multiplied by 3. Okay. So this is how you can wrap it in the LangChain tool. So first you can provide the name of the LangChain, like what you actually want. So I have provided the name here as the simple calculator just for the display purpose. And then I'm deciding the function which is needs to be executed or which needs to be run. That is my calculator. And then there is a short description of what actually the tool is going to do here. That's it. So this is the core capability which we all have to understand. So this is a step where you see that it will convert your Python function into a LangChain compatible tool. When you say wrapping, right, what is getting wrapped up here? Wrapping means you are converting all your Python functions which are available into a LangChain compatible tool. That somebody has asked me, right, a question. Can the generative AI be able to link with or integrate with IoT or augmented reality? This is the core step. As long as you make it compatible, then it can be done. Same thing is happening here. LangChain is altogether a separate agent. Python itself is a separate programming language, but that compatibility is there between Python and LangChain. And that is what we are doing in the form of wrapping here. Wrapping means you are converting your Python function altogether into a LangChain compatible mode, or in a way where LangChain can be able to understand and it can be able to do the things appropriately. So that is what we are being able to do as a wrap up over here. Okay. And here is where our mini agent logic is present. Okay. So you see that here in this case, this is our mini agent logic. Okay. So what it does, if you see, right, we created a very basic agent. We created a very basic agent, and the agent is simple agent over here. The function name is simple agent. Now what it is trying to do, it will take your input. First, it is going to take your input, whatever input you are going to give. Let's say I will say a string like 15 plus 5 multiplied by 2. And it is going to check if it is really looking like a math expression or not. If it is going to really look, so how it is going to work, you see that any op in user input, like if you see here very clearly, what it does is it will check if the input has any math operators like plus, minus, multiplication, divided, or brackets. It will check for all of them. If it does, then it says, okay, like I think I should use the calculator tool. And then it calls your calculator tool and gives back the result ultimately. Else, if it doesn't look like a math expression, it will reply, sorry, I don't know how to answer that yet. So that is how it is going to work over here. This is a very simple agent where simply you are asking that whether the expression is appropriate or not. In one line, this entire lines, whatever I'm highlighting to you, right? The very purpose of the lines which have been highlighted there is to just to let you know, okay, whether whatever you are creating within the simple agent or whatever mathematical expression you are giving as an input, it will check whether if it is really looking like a math question or not. It will do a breakdown where it will understand. Okay, in the if condition, it will check whether if the input whatever you're providing has any math operators or not, like your plus, minus, multiplication, division, or any brackets. If it does, then it will simply say, the agent will say that, hey, I think I should use the calculator tool for this. It will go ahead, return by doing the calculation. It will call your calculator tool and gives you the result appropriately. But if it doesn't look like a math expression, let's say, then it will reply saying you are mentioning that, sorry, I don't know how to answer that yet. Simple. Okay, so now you are going to ask the agent a question. So here is where the question will be asked. Till now, the question is not been asked. So here is where you can ask the agent a question. So I am right now giving a mathematical expression as a question here. So the mathematical expression here is 15 plus 5 multiplied by 2. So now the simple agent function, okay, the simple agent which I defined here. Now the simple agent function will process it. It will check for all the math signs. Okay, it's going to check for every math sign. and then it will say yes, everything is appropriate. So it will call the tool, and finally it is going to print the result saying print agent response. Whatever the response it's going to get, it will be able to print the result. So you are going to see something like this agent. Okay, it will say, I think I should use the calculator tool for this. And you see the agent response. If 15 plus 5 is 20, 20 multiplied by 2 is 40. So the result is 40. And the AI agent itself was able to go ahead, execute it on its own, and it was being able to derive the result for all of us. Okay, that is using the LangChain agent. Okay, so what did we do? We created a function where it made its own calculator. Then we wrapped it up in the LangChain. Then we created a mini agent where we built the logic to decide when to use the tool. And finally, we were able to test it where we asked a question and got an answer through the agent logic. That's it. So this is how we can be able to go ahead and can see all the related results using the LangChain. Again, I'm going to reiterate it one more time, after which I'll be able to share the code to all of you, where you can also execute it from your end in the Google Colab. Check whether the responses is appropriate or not, or whether you need to change anything with regards to it. You can be able to do that and then let me. Okay. So again, I'm going to reiterate it one more time to all of you over here, what we have exactly done in this scenario. So the very first step, if you see, right, we have installed the LangChain here successfully. Okay, so all the LangChain library got installed, because the LangChain will help us out to build all the AI agents and tools. And point here is to hide any additional or extra information associated with it. Then from the LangChain, as it got installed, I want to import the tools. Tools is one of the main component within the LangChain. So I want to import and then utilize in our program. Then I am defining the function over here, where my function name is here considered to be the my calculator, where it is going to take one input that is called as a query. Okay, which is just nothing but a mathematical expression in the form of a string. It is going to be present. Okay, where you can just provide your mathematical expression and it will be able to evaluate it, and then it's going to give us the result. If not, it will just return saying that sorry, I could not calculate that. After which we are trying to wrap it up in the LangChain. Okay, we are wrapping it up in the LangChain tool. So where we are here making it very clear in this scenario, like where we have a name called as a simple calculator just for the display purpose, and then we have our own function to execute and run it. And then there is a short description which we are trying to provide it for our calculator. That's it. So this is where we are converting our Python functions into a LangChain compatible tool, where it can understand and can do a great job in evaluating and then deciding the output of the program. Okay. Then we created our own mini agent over here, right? We defined the agent function, the function name here as a simple agent. Okay, where it is going to take the input, whatever we are going to give as a mathematical expression, and then it is going to check in the if condition, whether if it is having all the mathematical operators like plus, minus, multiplication, division, bracket. If it is within this range, then it will say that, hey, agent, it will print saying that agent, I think I should use the calculator tool for this. See, that is the reason you see that first statement here. It understood the mathematical expression. That is the reason it is printing this statement. If it wouldn't have understood, right, then it would have said, sorry, I don't know how to answer that yet. And here is where we are using the external calculator, and we are trying to get like whatever input we are providing. So that input will be taken and it will be calculated. Okay. And here is where we are providing the input in the form of a question. So where we are asking the question over here saying that this is the mathematical expression we are trying to provide here, where we say that 15 plus 5 multiplied by 2. And here is where your simple agent as a function is going to get processed. Right? This is a simple agent as a function is going to process it. And then it is going to check for all the mathematical signs. And yes, if everything is appropriate, it is going to calculate and will print the result for us. That's it. And here is where the print is going to happen. So you see that it says agent response, and then finally the result is 40. If you calculate the result, you can see that. Okay, so 15 plus 5 multiplied by 2, that is 20 multiplied by 2 is 40. And you will see that the agent has been able to go ahead, do the activity of calculation, multiplication, and addition and multiplication it was able to do. And then it took the BODMAS rule. If you know about the BODMAS, right? BODMAS rule. So using the BODMAS rule, it was able to go ahead, first take, and then it was able to calculate the response, which is 40. So your agent was able to connect to the calculator tool externally here. And then using the external calculator tool, it was able to send the question, whatever we were being able to provide. And finally, it was able to go ahead and respond to us here in the print statement. Okay. So that's the overall clarity which every one of us here should be aware in order to get the solution. Okay. So yeah, that's one of the very important component which I just want to explain to you all here. So we have our own agent, and then we have our agent response also been allocated over here. So that's the overall clarity which every one of us here should be having as an awareness or an idea. Okay, so hope that this makes sense to all of you. So this is the clarity which I just want to provide it to all of you. So any questions with regards to whatever we were being able to develop here as a LangChain agent, everyone? So let me share the code to all of you meanwhile. Let me put it in the main chat. Okay, I just shared the entire code. Just a minute, I think size is okay. I'll share you a document. I think that would be helpful because it's more than 1,000 lines, so it's not allowing. I'll share you the notepad. I think that would be better. So I'll be sharing it in the notepad, everyone. Okay, so give me 1 minute. Let me share the document itself. So give it. Okay, I just shared the document in the main chat for every one of you. So that is where our code is being present. Okay, where you can be able to go ahead and take the code. See, I would request, like, before you take the code entirely, just try to understand what is happening. If you wish, you can type it down, or if you want to copy it, just first understand what is happening line by line in the code, whatever I've explained to you. Try to understand and then paste and then run it in the Google Colab. Okay, so as you know how to run it in the Google Colab, there is, once the cell is filled with the entire code here, you have an option here towards the left hand side where you can be able to click on the run button. So the moment you go ahead and run this cell, the moment you go ahead and then try to run this cell, right, it will execute and will be able to give you the output more or less in the same way what I've explained to you. Okay, so your agent will print that I think I should use the calculator tool for this, and then finally it is going to give the response based on whatever it was been able to get from the calculator functionality. Okay, so that is how your LangChain as an agent will be able to go ahead, do the operation, execute it, and then finally will give you the response appropriately. Okay, so that is the clarity with which we all should here be aware about. So I would request, whatever the code I shared, go through it line by line, try to execute from your end, check the output whether the LangChain agent is been able to go ahead and give you the appropriate output or not. I'll give you 5 minutes of time. Please utilize this 5 minutes of time to do this activity. Go through the entire code, execute the LangChain agent, check the output whether if it is been able to provide you appropriately or not, and then mention it in the chat. Right? Mention it in the chat once you are done with it, saying that you are done. Then we will proceed further to the next part of the understanding. Okay, so with this, LangChain is completed. Then I will take you to the next concept, but before that you complete this activity, then I will explain that what next we need to be able to go ahead and do. Okay, complete and acknowledge it in the chat. I'll give you 5 minutes of time to complete this activity, everyone.
I didn't take a laptop also. Actually,
Is it done, everyone? Okay, I see. Here, there is a run command towards the left-hand side. It will run the cell, not the command, okay? So I just close the 3, step 4. Okay, see here. Okay, if you see, this is your step 3 where you defined your function my calculator. Where are you linking step 3 and step 4? Here, the function name. You see the function name is what? My calculator. So I'm using the same function name here also, right? You see, what is my calculator here? This is a function. So I'm going and using the same function here called as the my calculator. That's it. Okay. That is how both of them are linked, 3 and 4 for the first question. Where are we running here? So here is where we are trying to run this. Okay. So here is where we are actually trying to run this, run the cell. Why do we need an argument? When the function is there, when you are defining the function, we can directly simply wrap up that function only. The LangChain works in such a way that you don't need to pass explicitly any arguments. Already here we are passing everything right in this function. So directly take the function name and you can be able to utilize within your LangChain. That's it. You don't need any specific arguments to be passed to wrap up your entire LangChain as an agent. So we don't need that basically. Okay, so these are the questions which you have, Sangeeta. Is what else we have? Okay, so general inference, yes. See, this is like basically what happens is we are taking the simple agent over here. Okay. So now what are you trying to like? What we are trying to say is AI agent, whatever they are doing, do you think that the human beings are not gonna do? Human beings also will do that, but they are going to be super fast in doing it. Let's say today you ask ChatGPT something, it will give you the response. Does that mean that we are not aware about it? Yeah, 5% we may not be aware about, but most of the times we know what it is trying to do. Same thing here also. When you are creating any LangChain agents or any Crew AI agents, what it is going to do for all of us at the end of the day here is it will be able to go ahead and will try to help us out in doing the things in a much faster manner. That's it. Okay, so right now we have taken a mathematical expression, so it is able to be easier for us. But tomorrow, when you create multiple AI agents, like one for, let's say you create one as an analyst, okay, one as an engineer, or let's say one as a architect, right? When you go ahead and create multiple agents, then that is going to help us out in a much better manner. Okay, that we will do in the next week, third week, where we will do one entire AI agent itself practically. Okay, so this is to understand how the LangChain works here, Sangeeta. Okay, so that is the reason it may feel like even though if the LangChain is not there, we can do. Yes, even without LangChain also we can do. But with the LangChain, it will be done in a very quick manner and it is going to do the things in a better way. And it's a very simple application. So, but when we go ahead and do in the next third week, right, when we create one entire application using the AI agent, that is when you will understand, okay, all this is going to make sense because what happens in the agent, right? You can create multiple AI agents within one single AI agent. Within one single AI agent, we can create multiple AI agents, like 3 to 4 AI agents within one single AI agent. That is when its significance will come into the picture, Sangeet. Okay. Next, we'll move on to agentic AI. Okay, Chintan, this is agentic AI. Now we are now no more in generative. Generative is all about the LLMs only. Okay, agentic AI, because you see everything we are talking about is agents itself. Okay. So again, LangChain is why it is needed is it is now giving you the response in the form of an agent here. Okay, that is the purpose of the LangChain here, Rakshita, where it will work like an agent and will be able to provide you the response. Thank you. The people who all have acknowledged and confirmed that it is done. Okay, thank you for letting me know. Yeah, it's a Python code. Yeah, Karmakar, it is a Python code only. For everything, we will use Python only, not anything more than that. Okay, thank you all who all have confirmed that you all are done with it. Okay, I see most of you are done with it. I see everyone mentioned that sharing the code. I shared the document, right? I cannot share the code because it is more than 1,000 lines of the code. I mean, in the Zoom chat, it is not possible. So I shared the document Jayashri, which is there in the main chat. So please, you can download that where we have the code available. Okay. Once he done, okay, the rest of all of the people are also done. Agent will not ask for any user input, Nilesh. Agent itself means it will only do everything. You getting my point? Okay, you don't need to ask anything. You just give it in the code here. See, I'm saying that. Observe the logic here very clearly. Okay, whatever the logic I'm providing, here one logic is evaluation. That is one logic. Another logic is calculator. These are the only two logics. Remaining everything I'm mentioning it in the code only, right? Okay, when we will create a front end going forward using Streamlit, going forward when we are going to create a Streamlit, right? Using Streamlit, that is when you will be able to see where I will give an option for the user to input it. In this code, I did not give user any option to go ahead and input the code. You're getting my point, right? Until you don't give that feasibility, they'll not be able to do. Now the code, whatever we are executing, right? The agent itself knows what it has to do and it is responding to us as a response over here at the end of the day. I am not giving my agent as a customization option where Nilesh can be able to go ahead and ask the question and then it will be able to give the response. I am not giving that feasibility here. So to know that when we will go further, right, we will create some more AI agents. That is when we will be able to have that flexibility where I will give the option for the user to input whatever they want and it will be able to go ahead and respond to you. Okay, but most of the times within the code only, we will say what the AI agent has to do. So whenever you run the AI agent, it will immediately go ahead and do that activity for us. So it is that type of a LangChain agent where everything is present in the code itself. So it is simply going and giving the response. So we are not giving the user to go ahead and input anything. So let's say tomorrow I want to input anything. I have to do it in the code only. So let's say I want to change the parameter. So I will go and change the numbers in the question and it will be able to understand and will give me the response. So everything at the code level only we are doing it. But if you want the user to input it, then we will be able to go ahead once we proceed further to another concepts and then once we are done with it, once I will create a real-time AI agent. That is when you will see the user will be able to go ahead and provide input and the agent will understand and will give the query. Okay, using the RAG concepts. That's how it is going to work. Okay, yep, no problem. Okay, that's the main idea behind it. In the program, here, right, the query parameter is been running from here. If you see, this is the main one. Okay, so this is the main one. Here is where we are providing. So first, what did we say here? This is the query. Okay, so we are providing the query in the form of a string. Okay, and then what are we trying to do? We are creating the LangChain tool over here. Okay, after that, we are providing the validations here. And this is where the calculation is going to happen. And here is where the question would be picked up. And then simply it would be able to go ahead and print it in this case. That's it. Okay, so that's how the main aspect is going to work. Hope that makes sense to you. What else we have here? Okay, I think again you want, or no, just let me share it. Give me 1 minute. I just have shared it one more time so you can be able to utilize it. Okay, till here, all done. No, Sanjana, I gave a document, right? Download the document. Just download the document and utilize the code from there directly, okay? We don't need anything else apart from it. Okay. Thank you. Thank you all for acknowledging that you all are done with this activity. Good. Good job, everyone. So let me now proceed and take you further to the next one that is called as the React pattern. Okay. So let's understand what exactly is a React pattern. So we are done with the LangChain. So now let me take you further. Okay. Let's go ahead and move further to the next one that is here called as the React pattern. Let's understand what exactly is a React pattern and how it is going to be helpful. Okay. So it is called as React pattern. What exactly is a React pattern? Let's understand. React means what? First of all, React here means it is reasoning plus acting. Okay. So React pattern here means what it is. It's ultimately called as the reasoning plus it is called as acting over here. Okay. So now if you observe here very clearly, the React pattern in this scenario is going to play a very important role where you see RE stands for reasoning, ACT stands for acting. Okay. What exactly does this mean? So React pattern is also available within the LangChain only. Okay. So it is a method. Okay. This is a React pattern. It is a method which is available in LangChain. Okay, this is a method which is available in the LangChain. Okay, so the React is a method in the LangChain where within the LangChain, if you want to think step by step, okay, if you really want to go ahead and think step by doing a proper reasoning, let's say if you want to go ahead and do a proper reasoning, or you want to use the tools to do any actions. Okay, if you want to go ahead and use the tools to do any actions, like let's say for acting and all, so we need them. Okay, so when you talk about the React pattern, so your React stands for your reasoning and then plus acting. Okay, so this is a method which is available in the LangChain agents where you can think step by step, okay, by using the reasoning part. And then you can also use all your tools to do actions, which is for acting purpose. It's just like how humans think out loud, right, before doing something. So your React pattern as a method within the LangChain agents will help your LangChain agents to reason the things appropriately and then to take the action. Rather than blindly take the action, it will be able to reason it appropriately and then will be able to handle the things to do in a better manner. Okay, that is what we call as the React pattern, where you are going to have your reasoning plus acting coming into the consideration. So let's say for an example, imagine I go and say how many days are there between Jan 1st and February 1st. Okay, you might think like Jan has 31 days. So from Jan 1 to February 1, there is 31 days. Answer is 31 days. Simple. Okay, that is how React in real life. So you first reason, right, your way through how you have to overcome the problem. Then you act and give the final answer. That's how React is also going to work. Okay, in the LangChain agent also, your React is going to work in this way. So let's say in the LangChain agent, when I say a question like, what is capital of France? Okay, let's say if I say, what is a capital of France? Okay, and how is the weather now? Let's say something like this, I was able to go ahead and ask. So what is that your React pattern is going to do in this scenario? With React, the agent does not jump to the answer immediately. What it does is it will follow certain steps. Like first it will go through a thought process. So thought process is, it will say, okay, I need to find capital of France. Okay. So the first thought over here is, need to find the capital of France. That's my thought. Then later it is going to go through with action. So action is, it will use its knowledge. Whatever knowledge it has, it will use its knowledge and will say the answer here is Paris. Okay, then it will observe. Okay, it will observe the answer. The observation is, okay, it got Paris here as the answer. Okay, then again one more thought. Okay, the next thought here is, okay, the next thought right now is, need to get now weather in Paris. How the weather in Paris is there, I need to get here the weather in Paris. Okay, I need to get the weather in the Paris. That's your thought. Then again you have here action. Okay, so your action will be, I'll be able to use in this case your weather tool. Okay, so the action is, I will use my weather tool here and then observation. So using the weather tool, what is my observation here? Something like, say it is 22 degrees Celsius, sunny. Okay. So final answer is that's how your React pattern is going to work, everyone. And then you see the final answer. Final answer, it will say that, hey, the capital of the France is Paris. Okay. And then your weather is whatever weather is there. That weather which is being considered here is 22 degrees Celsius sunny. That's it. So this is the clarity which we all have to be known through. I mean, this is the process with which the React pattern will ultimately go ahead. Okay, so if imagine if there is no React process, that is reasoning and acting. Imagine the LangChain agent is not having this React for a minute. It will give you all incomplete answers, or it may skip some steps, and it will make frequent mistakes, and it will also not know when or what tools to use it. Today, it is all because of the React which is available in the LangChain agent. It will think in a very clear manner. It's able to really give you some great decisions, and it is been able to keep a track of what it was being able to do and what to do next. Everything it is able to go ahead and identify it in an appropriate manner. So that is the reason React Flow plays a very, very important role to give us the best responses. Okay, with React, definitely it will be little slow, but it will give you accurate and quality results. You can see there is a very clear thinking involved using the React pattern, and it will also explain that how it has been able to derive that particular answer also. So that's the core capability which every one of us here should be aware when we use the React pattern within the LangChain agents. Okay. So if we see here React, it's all about reasoning plus acting. As I mentioned to all of you in this case very clearly. So when I say reasoning plus acting, so here it is all about, it's a method which is available in the LangChain agent, where it will help us out to think step by step by reasoning appropriately. It will use all the tools to do the actions appropriately. It's just like, as I said, right, how humans are going to think out loud before doing something. That's how the core capability is going to work for the React pattern. Okay, and then as I said you, so imagine you have been asked like how many days are there between Jan 1st and Feb 1st. Okay, so how you think as a human being, you'll calculate, right? Jan has 31 days. So from Jan 1 to February 1, it will be 31 days. So answer is simply 31 days. That's how like first we will try to reason it in our brain, and then we will act and will finally give the answer that this is what we intended to provide it. So using the LangChain agent, then what we will do, like we'll say that, hey, let's say in the LangChain agent, I'll ask a question like, what's the capital of France and how is weather now? Okay. So what will your React agent will be able to do in this case? So your React agent will first go ahead. It will put a thought process, like saying that, hey, with React, the agent doesn't jump to the answer immediately is what I said you, right? So first it will go through a process like a thought process where it will try to see that, hey, I need to find the capital of France, and then it will take the action where it will use the knowledge, and the answer is considered to be here Paris. And the observation is like it will say, hey, I got Paris. Then again, the thought process is I now need to get the weather in Paris. So action is, again, it will use the weather tool, and then it will observe that it is 20 degrees Celsius and sunny. And final answer, it is going to derive saying that the capital is Paris, weather is 22 degrees Celsius sunny. Okay. That's how the React pattern plays a very, very important role within your LangChain agents. Okay. Which we all here should be able to consider. Okay. That's one of the very, very important aspect which every one of us here should be considered in this scenario. Okay. Now, so as I said you, right, imagine today it is all because of the React pattern only. Okay. It is able to think clearly. Okay. All your LangChain agents are able to go and think clearly. Okay. So even though it's a little slow, but still it can think in a very clear manner. Okay. And then it is also having the capability to really make some better decisions in the process. Okay. And then it also ensures that there is a proper track of what it did and then what to do next. It can track everything about the next process or the next parts. Okay. Everything it can be able to handle, and it can be able to do the things appropriately. Okay. So that's how we can be able to do with the React process. Okay. So as I said you, right, like let's take another example. Maybe that can also give you a better picture of how the React pattern is going to work. Okay. Let's say we ask to the React pattern, like let me say, find the distance. Okay, let me say, find the distance between, let's say between Delhi and Hyderabad. Okay, and convert it into kilometers. Okay, I'll say convert it to kilometers. I'll ask something like this to my LangChain agent. So first, what it will do, my React within my LangChain agent, which is available, first it will take it up. Okay, first it will put a thought to it. Okay, first it is going to add a thought to it, saying that, okay, let me go ahead, find out here the distance between the cities. Okay, then it will take an action, okay, where it will use the distance API. Okay, it will use an external service using the API. Then let's say it was able to observe, the observation here is, let's say somewhere like around it is 400 miles. It just observed that it is 400 miles. But now another action is use calculator. Okay, so another action here which we need is use the calculator. So using the calculator, now you multiply it 400 miles. Okay, multiply it with like 1.609 to convert it into kilometers. Okay, then what will happen again here? So now the next observation here is, okay, let's say it is like approximately 1,000 kilometers. Ignore the numbers, understand the logic behind it. Okay, and then final answer. Okay, that much amount of thought process will go as part of the React process. So the final answer is your distance is approximately whatever observation it was been able to do. Okay, your distance is approximately 1,000 kilometers. This is how your React process will go one by one. Will ensure that there is a proper reasoning, proper logic, and then will give you more accurate and best results with a very clear thinking steps, as you see as per the example whatever I have provided, and it will also explain you the appropriate path in order to reach the answer. Okay, so that's the overall clarity which every one of us here should be aware about. Like as a React process, this is going to play a very important role within the LangChain, where it is going to help us out in order to fetch all the related information. Okay, there is a proper thought process been going into it, action associated with it, observation, and then again action which has been occurred over here. Okay, this is another important thing as a React pattern which I want to help you all out, which is available within the LangChain agent, where it can go ahead and can give us the best responses at the end of the day. Okay, so now any questions with regards to the React pattern which is available within the LangChain agents based on whatever I explained to you right now? Are there any questions associated with the React pattern? Anybody? Feel free to go ahead and ask me over the chat if there is anything associated with the React pattern, which is reasoning plus acting. Okay, thank you, Ranjit, for sharing it. I think Ranjit has shared, right? So I hope Hirendra, it will be helpful for you. Not Ranjit, Ranjit. Okay, sorry. Okay, so okay, hope this is clear to all of you. So as I said you, right, this is how your React pattern is going to play a very, very important. Okay, so just React means good amount of reasoning, good amount of acting is needed if you really want to get a very clear result. That's it. That's the more, that's more what we all actually have to be aware of. That's it. Okay, so somebody asked me to repeat it one more time, just one last time. I'm just going to repeat to all of you. So as I said, React stands for ultimately reasoning and acting. So it is a method which is available within the LangChain, where it will help you out to think step by step in the form of reasoning, and it will also use the tools or do actions by acting it appropriately. Like how humans we can think out loud, in the same way your React pattern within the LangChain agents will help the LangChain agents to think and give the response in an accurate way. That's it. Okay, and then for that I've given an example. As I said you, let's say if you ask an agent like what is the capital of France and how is the weather there now. So with React, what will happen is the agent will directly not go to the answer. It will go through thought process first. It will find out the capital of the France, then an action, it will use the knowledge and will say the answer is Paris. Then the observation is that it identified that it is now Paris. So we are expecting the weather in Paris. That's what it understood. Then the next thought process is need to get the weather in Paris. Then the action is using the weather tool, external weather tool. It will observe that today's condition in the Paris is around 22 degrees Celsius sunny. It will provide the final answer to the user saying that capital of the France is Paris and the weather today is 22 degrees Celsius sunny. That's how the React pattern will go through step-by-step approach and will try to give you an accurate answer rather than directly jumping and giving the answer without any head and tail. Okay, that's what is the React pattern. Okay, so React is today very much needed. As I said, right, you can think very clearly using the React pattern in the LangChain agents. It will help you to give a better decisions because there is a good amount of reasoning being involved or associated with it. And then it will keep the track of what it did and what to do next so that it can understand and can handle the things appropriately. Okay, so that's the key idea that's the key idea of the React pattern which is available in the LangChain agents. Okay, so somebody has asked me to differentiate between the Gen AI and agentic AI. See, in the generative AI, okay, in the world of generative AI and then your agentic AI. See, how it works is your generative AI will only generate the content for you, right? It can only generate the content, and that generating the content it can be your text, okay, it can be your image or a audio or a video, anything it can be able to generate. Whereas in agentic AI, it is going to decide and then it will act step by step, okay, by taking the actions. As I gave a very good example today in the LangChain agent, right? What did I say? If you want to book a cab, you cannot ask your generative AI to do that action. Whereas in the agentic AI, you can ask your agentic AI to do that action. Where your agentic AI will proceed further, will book a cab, or maybe you want to order a food. It will do all the actions, whatever you wanted it to be done. Your agentic AI will be able to go ahead and will do all those related actions which are required for. Whereas your generative AI also can generate, but it is only going to generate the content. That's it. It's not going to do anything else apart from it. Whereas your agentic AI can be able to decide, it can act step by step and can be able to give you the result appropriate. Okay. So now with the generative AI, prompts are mandatory. I mean, without prompts, okay, you cannot be able to give any instruction to your generative AI. This is somebody I think was asking me, I think Nilesh or someone. Okay, so let's say in the generative AI, either you take ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, until you don't put the prompt, your ChatGPT or any other LLMs or any other AI models will not be able to respond to you. Okay. Whereas on the other side, if you talk about agentic AI, right, prompts are not mandatory. Why? Because in the code itself, I can write the self prompt. In the code itself, like the example which we have taken for today, in the code itself, I have written the self prompt. Okay, where it can be able to go ahead and run on its own. Okay, where it can be able to run on its own. So prompts are not mandatory in agentic AI. You can write the prompt within the agent itself and it will be able to do that activity every time when the agent is going to run. Whereas in the generative AI world, you have to run the prompt because until you don't run the prompt, your Gen AI models like ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, they don't know what they have to do. Okay. So that's the clarity which we all here should be aware of. Okay. So that's ultimately the thing. And then ultimately you see that, right? Generative AI will always try to produce the content for us. That's it. Whereas your agentic AI will accomplish all the tasks. Whatever tasks you want, it will be able to accomplish the tasks in an automated manner. In the generative AI, maximum you can generate an essay or a poem or a document or a research paper or a content, that's it. Whereas agentic AI will complete the task altogether in an automated way so that we don't need any human beings in the process at all once the agent is being created successfully. That is the difference. Generative AI is more towards generating the content. Agentic AI is more towards the action oriented, where it will go ahead and do that action and will be able to provide you the result at the end of the day. Okay. So that's the overall capability which we all here should be aware of. So with this, we are done with our today's session where we understood the LangChain. We have created one simple AI agent using the LangChain, that is a calculator LangChain AI agent. And then we understood the React pattern, right? How the React pattern is going to be as a helpful method in the LangChain. And then we completed the differences between the generative AI and agentic AI, right? So these are the 4 important capabilities which we have been able to complete as part of our today's discussion. Tomorrow, I will further take you by creating some real-time AI agents. Okay, we will further proceed into Crew AI. Okay, we will see how we can implement no-code AI agent if there is anything feasible in the LangChain, LangGraph, right? All these services are still there. Like we have a LangGraph available where we will see how LangGraph will be there. So LangChain is done. Within LangWorld only, there is a LangGraph which we will be able to proceed further in the tomorrow's session, that how LangGraph is going to play an important role. And if there are any no-code AI agents within the world of LangChain and then the LangGraph, we will be able to see all of them appropriate. Okay, so all this has been scheduled for tomorrow. We will see different ways in which we can also develop. LangChain we are done. Tomorrow we will see LangGraph and we will take it further, like seeing any no-code AI agents. Then we will move to Crew AI, N8N. There are so many great, wonderful AI agents which are available. Okay, so we'll go through one by one and we'll try to gradually cover so that at the end of the day, you will be having a very thorough and soundful knowledge of how to create your own AI agent. So right now, you know how to create an AI agent in a customized manner. So we still have this entire week and the upcoming week. So by the time we complete it, at least you will be knowing how to create your own AI agent. And that's the guarantee which I would be able to provide to all of you. Okay, so that's it for our today's session, everyone. If there are any questions, I'll be immediately going to take it up. If not, we will be able to good to wrap it up for our today's session. So let me see if there is anything specific from anybody. But today we don't have time, Krishna. We will see. No. For React, it's the same thing, right? If you see here, right, in this scenario, it's the same code only. What I'm trying to say is React. See, when you took the LangChain here, you observe. When you took the LangChain here, right? In this only React is already involved. I'm just explaining to you that today LangChain is able to think in such a clear way because there is a React method available within the LangChain. That's what I was trying to highlight it, Krishna. Okay. Excellent. Thank you. Thank you so much for the wonderful feedback, everyone. Till here, all done. What else? Yeah, you would be having an official documentation, like let's say. Okay. So you'll definitely have the documentation here. See. Okay, LangChain. So I'll also share if anybody is interested, can be able to also go through. Okay, I just shared even the documentation of the LangChain, which can be helpful for all of you if you are interested. Okay, I just shared it. Yeah, sure, Sanjana. I will inform to the XLR team. Okay, they will send it even through WhatsApp. Okay, perfect. So till here, all done. Yeah, tomorrow we will take it up, Nilesh. Okay, as we are done with the time, tomorrow I will give one more example with LangChain. Not a problem. Okay, we will discuss one more program with the LangChain, and we can have a look into it tomorrow also. Remind me one more time. I will take it up tomorrow so that we can have a look into it. Yeah, thank you. Thanks. Power BI. Power BI is separate, right? That's a data analytics platform, Karmakar. Power BI is a ETL tool. Extract, transform, learn, and then create some great analytics on top of it by creating some good dashboards. That's a data analytics world. It is a AI world. Both of them are closely related to each other, but that's a separate world altogether, I would say. Okay. Yeah, both are similar only, Aditya. More or less similar only. Okay. How does React know when to invoke a tool? So based on, okay, it will see what happens is, for an example, I ask you a question. Now, if you know the answer, you will immediately give me the answer. If you don't know, right, you will say, I will get back to you. Once you say me, get back to me, you will check all the sources. In all the sources, once you get the response, you will give it to me. Same way. React will know. If it knows the answer, immediately it will say. If it does not know the answer, then it will invoke a tool where it is where the tool is having that expertise, and from there it will pull the answer and will try to give it to you. It always depends on, if it knows, it will directly give the answer. If it does not know, then it will invoke a tool through an API. From there, it will try to extract the response and will try to provide it to us. That's how it is going to work. Again, Karmakar, Power BI is not this world, and that's the analytics world. Okay, data analytics. This is agentic AI. Both are separate. Power BI is for creating dashboards, for creating some analytical dashboards. Okay, so that's not been covered as part of the agentic AI world. Okay, that's altogether a separate world, I would say. Okay, perfect. I have answered all the questions. Okay, so thank you once again, everyone, for all your time. So we will meet again tomorrow. Okay, we will meet again tomorrow with further topics. Until then, bye-bye and take care, everyone. And thank you, Shushmita, for facilitating. Over to you.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. We'll meet again by tomorrow. And dear faculty members, it's just a reminder, I'm just sharing attendance link once again on the chat. Please mark your attendance. I hope you all mark the attendance. So we are done for the day. We will wind up. We'll all meet again by tomorrow at 3 p.m. Thank you all.